session this morning in 16th. I can't honestly say why was Miguel Oliveira. Most peculiar, because you would say, Matt, even if he was just going out there purely working on race pace, he wouldn't want to be doing a around faster than what he was going this morning. It just wasn't clicking at all. He did not try a new tyre at the end of the session, did 19 laps as well. Miguel Oliveira, of course, the winner of the 900th Premier Class Grand Prix in Styria on his 150th wins of Brad Binder to be a race winner in Moto 3, Moto 2 and now Moto GP. Here is Maverick Vinales right at the end of last year, that coming off the back of a good performance in Phillip Island until the crash. Maverick missed out on a place inside the top 10. This will be, he will certainly state later anyway, an incredible time. Well, it's exactly the same time, to be frank, as the race will take place here on Sunday. And you would think that he got pushed out late on by Taka Nakagami. We're looking at Jack Miller, number 43, back-to-back throughout that Spielberg second encounter, and how much progress so far Pecco Bagnaia is making on his welcome return.
Yes, Francesco, I think you heard Matt there. We're really curious how, first of all, Pecco enough now.
Yeah, it's two different level of injury, of course, and Jack fit for fighting again. For Pecco, after 5 weeks, the condition in Pomposa is a short circuit close to Ferrara, and yes, condition is good, like it was the last time. So yeah, race pace will be in the right way.
One last question about Pecco. Is there any concern, like, has a danger that he could re-break it if he has a fall?
I mean, when you crash, everything...
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much to Francesco Guidotti. Frustrating at times it has been, enough that typical Aussie grit. Yeah, I mean, we didn't realise, did we, until post-race, that Jack Miller was up at 7 o'clock Sunday morning, twice daily since that Styrian Grand Prix. He's been having intense physiotherapy. So Jack says this morning that was not critical about this new Misano circuit. Everybody to a man was saying it's offering a lot more 050. Jack was saying that there were a few bumps and ripples around that were quite unexpected. For a minute there, I thought they'd forgot to put the number 41 sticker on Aleix Espargaro's motor that time straight away. Be intriguing to see if they can keep that speed up, by the way. Aleix Espargaro and Bradley Smith looking strong this morning in free practice 1, going really, really strong. Let's find out what the thoughts are of Ruben Schaus about his men.
Congratulating you on the progress of your team this year. Last year we spoke about this from Moto 2 into your team in the future, and so far that it hasn't...
Yeah, it's clear that we were looking to upgrade the situation of the team. Things are happening very fast. I thought we got quicker a situation, and then in 1 year we just step up. It's clear for next year at Ducati, and it's clear that for us it's a good spot for a young generation to come up and will come in. And I mean, so far today 99% that Bastianini will join us next year.
Thanks for your time, Ruben.
For the giant leap, because they were the team constantly lapping towards the back end of races. Schaus has made a difference himself, but predominantly it is Johann Zarco that's responsible for this turn in fortune. And you can almost have that team has risen, hasn't it, because of the performances of Johann Zarco. He's been helped with the Ducati support. We know Marco Ulrich and Johann Zarco, and he's gone out there and done a fantastic job. He's now made the Vinci Ducati project. The sponsor Ruben Schaus just said he will not be with them next year because it's clear, crystal clear from Paolo Ciabatti's mouth in the Italian media over the last few days. Zarco and Pecco Bagnaia, as Fabio Quartararo has clicked into some good rhythm in this session. Already leads the way with a 33.594. Adriatic Coast. He has run on a couple of times into turn 1 and a couple of other corners so far. I'm not sure if it didn't really seem to affect him in the race. Some good rhythm again, as ever, from number 44 here as well, Paolo Spitz, but they really do like and favour that hard Michelin rear. It's a different compound here. Top 10, he's put a time in of a 33.827. Just want to remark quickly on Brad Binder. I want to come into the garage because he's so laid back, he's so cool, he's not like any other rider. He doesn't really seem to carry any ego with him. What's the next ambition? And normally you would hear riders just say, well, of course I want to win another race, or let's get a podium, or let's, you know, in a few years race. Well, if you're doing that, you are going some. Fabio Quartararo knows about that experience. That's one that we wouldn't put it past Brad Binder doing that quite quickly, would you? They all want to test themselves against the very, very best. And before he got injured, Marc Marquez, of course, in his place. Not spoken too much about him so far today, but keep an eye on the Japanese rider, because Taka Nakagami coming back to Misano. We've seen, unfortunately, a few years ago, the circuit Wednesday evening pre-weekend here at Misano. He carried out his ritual to go to turn 11 and pay his respects to that. Yeah, there's so many number 48 stickers in this paddock, always remembered. On fastest with a 33.236, the Suzuki rider. Some Fabio Quartararo's machine. Bit of grading jet there. And Maverick is still going. He's still ticking along nicely here. When that bike, like Sector 3. Now, earlier on this morning, I think it's fair to say, Andrea Dovizioso was struggling. They had some sort of electrical problem outside of the garage at the moment. Simon?
Yeah, guys, I just thought I'd let you know I've been trying to watch what they've been doing. The whole bike is lower, ride height, front and rear.
Thanks for that, Simon. We've got a crash here for Brad Binder. Oh, blimey, is it? He's just lost the front. It just shows you, doesn't it? It's faster than it looks, and that goes
An eventful couple of minutes here in Misano because Fabio Quartararo, while we were looking at him in the pits, Joan Mir's tested where that red flag for the Vinales incident cost him so dear. He was cruising, wasn't he, to his first MotoGP that have got their pictures on the wall. Spot yourself if you can. There is Joan Mir then just talking to... Looks like a different animal, doesn't he, this year, Joan Mir, as we suspected might be the case. He's full. Now he knows that he's got the speed. We know he's always had the talent, but now he knows what it takes to come out for the Vinales incident because the air fence had popped at turn 1 and you can't continue. But at that stage, Joan relatively unscathed after that tumble at turn 6, that front end just going out from underneath him as he tipped it into that left.
There's Mike Leitner just here on the left, just about to go and chat to find out what's happened. Sebastian Rieser and this weekend, Brad Binder, because he did come to that test in June. It was a bit of a blowing off of the cobwebs exercise because first 5 Grand Prix, I think it's fair to say, by quite a lot. Now, a couple of the Yamaha riders yesterday were talking about Maverick Vinales and Fabio Quartararo this morning, a Yamaha 1-2. Let's find out how life is going right now down in the...
Same thinking, Matt. I wanted to come and ask you this morning, FP1, why... I'm still curious. Why didn't you test with Hawaii?
That GSX-RR in the hands of Alex Rins at the moment set the best time of the session. Mir's got Petrucci, that has been pretty much from the get-go in 2020. Petrucci was 17th quickest. Oliveira's finding some form with then Oliveira.
It's just fantastic MotoGP at the moment, isn't it, to see such... You look, there seems to be a top rider on a motorcycle that's capable of doing it. I'm just quickly going to peek at Stoke, but he's got a place in Q2 as it stands. Likewise, Bradley Smith, by the way, he might drag Dovizioso. How is Dobby getting on then? As Simon reported earlier, they've completely changed the motorcycle.
A blank canvas on this new Misano surface as Maverick Vinales is putting together another pretty decent lap at the moment. Vinales has got a good lap, he's stringing together here. Here he comes in out of the final corner. Is he going back to the top of the timesheets? No, not Quartararo. Leccuona, Mir and Miller's your top 6.
This is a better lap coming in from Andrea Dovizioso. Fast curves that bike just handles so well. Around now, coming up to the tightest right-hander. This is where all the...
You can see the agility of the Yamaha, how strong it works in Sector 1, because Vinales and Quartararo are absolutely smashing this sector. And at the moment, that's definitely Suzuki Yamaha territory. Vinales was up in the first sector by well over 2 tenths on Rins' best of the...
Enough punch, it's got acceleration, it's one of the best bikes in the paddock in terms of braking, and it's actually not too far away from the Yamaha.
Stability issues in those high-speed 3 right-handers at the back end of the lap, certainly turn 11, which is one of the scariest... Just looking down, it's to 32.928. Yeah, we're still quite a long way off. I thought it was a 33.198 brief. The Maverick set the best rear tyre. That's impressive. That kind of pace, high 132s on tyres that are that worn, that bodes very
for anyone at home watching. Everyone's just constantly... You've seen it so many times with Maverick Vinales. It's almost as if he's got to try and believe, pumped up and believe genuinely, I'm going to win the race on Sunday. Was Malaysia. And guess what happened? He went on to win the race.
Yeah, here is beautiful. Top shot for the Top Gun, that one.
Yeah, it's a fascinating...
With the upgrade, his performances have certainly merited that this year. He's been one of the standout performers, one of the most eye-catching performers of technical support next year, because he's certainly warranted it, that's for sure.
On board here with Alex Rins. Now,
this is where the Suzuki and Yamahas will work so well in that first sector. A lot of relatively low speed. Dovizioso not particularly looking overly happy with life in Misano right now, is he? Vinales, so... Well, the best of starts to Ducati's home Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's shaking his head, isn't he?
More long-link.
Alberto Girabiola there, just keeping a close eye on things, but he's another rider where you can kind of tell with his body language. MotoGP, if you're a little bit off the pace and things aren't going well, you could be miles away. It could be so costly.
If some reason that kept him out of a Grand Prix, then this man will be his natural successor. But the way it's turned out, his lifelong ambition of being MotoGP World Champion, because there are, probably now names into double figures, but actually fighting for the win as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this is encouraging. What you've just seen there is Aleix Spargaro going up into Spargaro. That's a legitimate 1:33.231. This is looking pretty good.
On a few regular times, haven't we, in 2020? It just shows the strength in depth
in terms of the technical competition. Sat at home recovering, of course. Marc Marquez hoping to be back in Moto and Aragon possibly at the end of well, you need an awful lot of top speed, is it, Misano? And that's still an Achilles heel in many respects for the RSGP. Turns 14, then 15 into an ultimate corner, trying to pick his way through a bit of traffic here as well. Aleix Espargaro looks like easier for Aleix Espargaro. He comes across the line then, and he will improve his lap again. A 33. Aleix Espargaro, because tyre preservation is one of the strong points of the Aprilia. Qualifying is not. So he'll be to his word. At the moment, we have all 6 manufacturers in the top 10. That's just in this session, though, not coming up soon. Was that the sound of a bike in our ears there? The guy's currently quickest in this session with a 32.9. The fastest he posted this morning was a 32.198. They thought they were on course to see Joan Mir have a breakthrough first MotoGP victory when he was comfortably clearing in here from a couple of riders. One of them's gone away. This is Joan Mir, and that's not where you want to be. That's a fast place to be going into the gravel. He's doing a mighty 3.67. That's not too far away from Vignales' best set this morning. Oh, there's laps everywhere here. Taka Nakagami's just gone third inside the top 2. Quartararo's also on a really hot lap. It's going to chop and change. Here comes Pol Espargaro then, out of turn 16. Over the line he comes. Laccarona goes second, but only briefly. Pol Espargaro fires himself in a... That's a great lap from the Italian. Here comes Quartararo. He goes up into second place with a 32.387. It's difficult to know where to look clear. We need the combined standings on the left overall to find out where we are exactly. Not use a soft rear tyre towards the end of the session, just focus on his race pace. Fabio Quartararo yet again estimated P1. Now what is as well. Here is Fabio Quartararo then, El Diablo with time in his pocket. Threatening Franco Morde's 30, himself up from 16th, up into 11th. That's all he can manage so far, not quite into the 32s, but he'll get one more lap. Here's Quartararo then, but on Marc Marquez last year. Superb third sector from Quartararo, he picked up a 10th. He's well on course. He's so good on a soft rear tyre, isn't he, MotoGP? And he's gone top, 132.18. Espargaro as well, 13th in this session across the line. Does he improve? 9th he goes, in fact 10th, because all 4 KTMs once again are back inside the top 10. The first time in MotoGP history. Third, Leccarona, a brilliant 4th place from the rookie. And then you've got Binder 8th after a crash at turn 6, and Lepi, because things can change so quickly. There's only one Ducati in the top 10, and it's Danilo Petrucci, who looked like he had absolute... Nakagami missed out, he's in 12th. There's no Suzuki in the top 10 either. All set up very good to see, finally, Fabio Quartararo able to acknowledge a small number of...